You did not arrive here by chance. Something within you has been calling, quietly, insistently, like a whisper carried by the eternal winds. This is not a lecture. This is a remembrance. You are not simply listening. You are entering a living scripture that was always waiting for you. This audiobook reveals a hidden law. Money bends to your inner command. Introduction. Imagine stepping into a vast temple of light. Its pillars shimmer with golden flame, its arches dissolve into stars, and every step echoes with a truth you once knew but forgot. In the silence of this temple, a secret waits. Money is not paper, nor numbers on a screen, nor the frantic chase of a restless world. Money is frequency. Money is breath. Money is spirit, flowing as freely as rivers of light, awaiting only the vessel of your belief. For too long, humanity has been taught to see money as something outside themselves, distant, scarce, difficult, forever withheld by unseen hands. But listen closely. That scarcity is not law, it is illusion, a mirage projected upon the screen of your mind. And the moment you awaken, the moment you turn inward and claim the truth, the mirage dissolves. There is a door within you, not a door made of wood and hinges, but a luminous threshold where thought becomes substance and desire takes on flesh. It is here in this inner chamber that money manifests. When you walk through this door with certainty, the outer world obeys. Circumstances rearrange, opportunities appear, people arrive, and streams of abundance flow toward you as if they had always been waiting for your signal. The universe has never been against you. It has only been responding to the vibration you carried, and you are about to change that vibration forever. Every word you hear from this moment forward is not just sound, it is code. Sacred, ancient, awakening code that reshapes the pattern of your reality. Pause for a moment, breathe deeply. Can you feel the current already stirring within you? That gentle tingling, that sudden quiet sense of recognition. This is alignment. This is the remembrance that you are not a beggar in a world of wealth. You are the source, the magnet, the cause. The law of money is not written in economies or banks. It is written in the silence of your imagination. You stand at the threshold now, between the old story of lack and the new story of unshakable wealth. Step with me. For as you listen, you will be led through sacred parables, hidden laws, and living exercises that shift you from seeker to creator, from wanderer to master of wealth. The money you desire is not coming from somewhere else. It is arising from within you now. This is not just an audiobook. This is the moment your frequency changes. Chapter 1. The First Law of Wealth. Imagination is currency. The first sound you must hear is silence, for in silence, wealth is born. Do not mistake money for coins or paper, nor digits flashing across a digital screen. Before it appears in the vault of banks or in the palm of your hand, it exists here, in the theater of your imagination. The great secret is simple, yet hidden. Imagination is the true currency of wealth. You are not chasing money. Money is chasing the shape of your inner world. If your inner world is sculpted by lack, then lack will crystallize around you like frost upon glass. But if your inner world is sculpted by abundance, the outer world must echo it with opportunities, streams of income, and blessings that cannot be denied. Close your eyes for a moment and step inward. Can you feel it? The flicker of an inner flame, like a projector casting light upon the screen of reality. That projector is your imagination, and whatever film you load into it, life will play for you. The law cannot be broken. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner. Imagine now a man named Elias. He was a clerk in a dusty office, surrounded by the clatter of typewriters and the smell of ink, working long hours yet never feeling that life truly saw him. His paycheck barely covered his meals, and his heart sank every time he thought of the future. But Elias discovered this. Each night, before sleep, he entered the theater of his imagination. He pictured himself counting crisp bills with ease, pictured himself handing money joyfully to his family, pictured himself receiving letters of gratitude for his generosity. At first, It felt like a dream too distant. But Elias persisted. He did not beg life to change. He rehearsed the change inwardly until it felt real, until he could smell the ink of the bills, until his pulse raced as though the money were already his. Within months, opportunities arose. His employer, seemingly out of nowhere, offered him a new position in a different city. Higher pay, lighter hours. Not long after, he began a business with a colleague, and streams of abundance poured in. Elias had not earned more money through strain. He had assumed the state of wealth inwardly, and the outer world bowed to that assumption. The universe cannot resist the magnetism of imagination clothed in certainty. And so I say to you now, what picture are you playing on the screen of your imagination? For you are always imagining, whether of bills that trouble you, debts that haunt you, or wealth that delights you. Each thought is a seed, and each seed becomes a tree in the garden of your life. Money does not appear through effort alone. Have you not seen those who labor endlessly yet remain broke? Have you not seen others who seem to move lightly, joyfully, yet are surrounded by wealth? The difference lies not in their labor, but in their inner currency. They have chosen to imagine abundance until it becomes their identity, and wealth has no choice but to find them. Money is a mirror. It reflects how you see yourself. If you feel unworthy, money flees. If you feel small, money slips away. But if you see yourself as already abundant, already chosen, already magnetic, then money rushes toward you like rivers of gold breaking through dams. Pause. Close your eyes. Imagine this with me. You are sitting at a table. Before you rests a check with your name on it. The numbers written upon it are more than you ever thought possible. Your hand trembles as you hold it. You breathe, and a quiet smile spreads across your face, not because you hope it might happen one day, but because in this inner world it already has. Stay in that vision. Touch the paper. Hear the sound of your pen signing the deposit slip. Feel the gratitude rising in your chest like a flood of sunlight. This, my friend, is not fantasy. This is creation. The ancient Hermetic law says, as within, so without. The Bible whispers, according to your faith, it is done unto you. The Vedas proclaim, the world is mind-made. All point to the same eternal truth. Imagination is not mere daydream. It is the womb of reality. And what is money, if not energy clothed in form? Energy responds to your command, and your command is not your pleading words, but your inner assumption. Money is never far. It is waiting at the threshold, waiting for you to give it permission to appear through the authority of your imagination. So here lies your first sacred practice. Tonight, when the world grows quiet and your body sinks into rest, do not drift into sleep as a beggar waiting for chance. Enter sleep as a master already rich. Picture vividly a single scene that implies wealth is already yours. Perhaps it is the joy of giving a gift without concern, or the calm of seeing your account balance overflowing, or the laughter of knowing you are free. Make it simple, make it vivid, and most importantly, make it felt. Fall asleep inside this imaginal scene and let it carry you into the depths. Repeat this each night. Do not strain, do not demand. Simply assume. In the silence of your imagination, you will plant the seed, and in the waking world, the harvest will come. For what you plant in the inner soil must bloom in the outer fields. The first law of money manifestation is this: imagination is currency. Guard it well, spend it wisely, and the wealth of worlds will rise to meet you. Chapter 2. The river of receiving. Wealth flows where it is welcomed. There is a river that never runs dry. It flows through galaxies, through the fabric of time, through the secret chambers of every heart. It is the river of abundance, carrying with it health, joy, love, and yes, money. But here is the truth few are willing to face. The river does not stop because the water ceases. It stops because the vessel refuses to open. You have been told that you must chase money, that you must strive, bargain, plead, and wrestle with life until it finally throws you scraps of abundance. Yet money is not prey, and you are not the hunter. Money is a river, and you are either open to receive its flow or closed against it. Think of a cup placed in the stream. The water rushes, endless and free. If the cup is turned upright, it fills effortlessly. If the cup is overturned, no matter how fierce the river's current, the cup remains empty. This is the difference between those who live in abundance and those who live in lack, not the river, but the openness of their vessel. And how do you open your vessel? Through worthiness, through expectation, through gratitude. The universe does not deny you money. It reflects your willingness to receive it. Consider the story of Mira, a woman whose life was marked by giving. She cared for her family, she labored for her children, she gave her time and love freely. Yet when money appeared at her door, she would shrink. She said, "Oh no, I cannot accept that. I do not deserve it. Others need it more." And so, even as the river of abundance touched her feet, she turned her cup upside down. But one evening, Mira heard a whisper in her heart. Why do you resist the gifts prepared for you? She realized that by rejecting money, she was not being humble. She was denying the river its course. She began a small practice. Each morning she opened her hands and said aloud, "I welcome wealth. I am worthy of the flow." At first it felt strange, but slowly her life began to shift. Clients appeared who insisted on paying her more. Old debts were cleared with unexpected grace. Mira had not chased money. She had simply opened her vessel. Do you see? Money is not persuaded by your struggle. It is welcomed by your openness. When you declare yourself worthy, the river rushes in. Now pause. Feel this truth. You are worthy. Not because of what you have done, not because of what you will do, but because you exist. A flower does not earn the rain. A star does not earn its light. And you do not earn abundance, you allow it. Money resists the clenched fist, but flows to the open hand. The heart that says, "I receive," becomes magnetic. The soul that says, "I deserve," becomes a beacon. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When you give thanks, you signal to the river that you are already drinking from it, and so more flows your way. Gratitude is the language of reception, but there is a shadow to beware of: resistance disguised as pride. Some say, "I need nothing, I ask for nothing, I will take nothing." This sounds noble, but it is often fear wearing a mask. True humility does not reject the river. It allows the river to flow through you so that you may water the lives of others. To deny money is to dam the current not only for yourself, but for all those who could be blessed by your overflow. So here is your sacred practice for this chapter. Each morning before you rise from bed, place your hand upon your heart and speak these words aloud. I welcome wealth. I am worthy of wealth. I receive freely, and I give freely. Do not merely recite them as empty words. Feel them as though they were carved in fire upon your soul. Imagine the river rushing into your life, filling every corner, every account, every need, every desire. Then, throughout your day, whenever money touches your hands, whether a small coin or a great sum, whisper silently, "Thank you. More is on its way." This simple ritual will open your vessel, align your frequency, and remind the river that you are ready to receive. The second law of money manifestation is this: wealth flows where it is welcomed. Stop damming the river with doubt and shame. Open your hands, open your heart, and you will discover that the river was never absent. It was waiting for your permission to flow. Chapter 3. The Golden Mirror. Money reflects your self-image. Every reality is a mirror. Every dollar that finds its way to your hand is not random, not accident, not luck. It is reflection. Life is a theater of mirrors, and money is one of its clearest. When you stand before the mirror of wealth, it does not show you who you wish to be. It shows you who you believe you are. Pause and let this truth wash over you. Money is not responding to your effort. It is responding to your identity. If within you carry the image of one who struggles, the mirror cannot betray you. It must show struggle. If within you carry the image of one who is overlooked, who is always left behind, who must scrape for crumbs, the mirror cannot lie. It reflects lack upon your life. But if within you form the golden image of one who is worthy, chosen, abundant, magnetic, then the mirror bends to reflect that glory. Do you understand? The reflection is neutral. The mirror does not choose sides. It simply reflects the face you show it. Let me tell you a story. A young man named Arun grew up in a small town where money was a stranger. His parents worked hard, but spoke of lack as if it were their inheritance. They said, "We are not like them. Wealth is for others. Be humble, be satisfied." Arun believed it, and though he worked tirelessly as he grew older, money slipped through his hands like sand. He felt invisible to abundance. One day, exhausted and near despair, Arun met a teacher who said to him, "Look not at the coins in your hand, but at the image in your mind. Tell me, when you see yourself, what do you see?" Arun realized that he had always pictured himself small, struggling, overlooked. He had never imagined himself as a man of wealth, never worn the identity of abundance within his soul. The teacher gave him this practice. Each night he was to close his eyes and step before the golden mirror of his imagination. In this mirror, he was to see himself not as he was, but as he desired to be. Clothed in dignity, walking with ease, receiving money joyfully, giving money freely. At first, Arun resisted. It felt false, almost foolish. But the teacher urged him, "Persist until the image becomes familiar, for the mirror will not change until you change the face you show it." Arun persisted. Days turned to weeks, weeks into months. Slowly, his posture changed. His voice carried a new tone. He walked into interviews with a quiet authority. He began to attract opportunities, and doors that had always been closed began to open. Within a year, he was earning more than he had thought possible. The mirror had not betrayed him. It had reflected the new image he carried within. So it is with you. If you long for more money, do not ask first, "What must I do?" Ask instead, "Who must I be?" For money is not drawn to action alone, it is drawn to identity. Close your eyes with me for a moment. Picture yourself standing before a great mirror made of gold. Its frame shines with fire, its surface gleams with eternity. In this mirror, you do not see the face of struggle. You see yourself wealthy, radiant, free. You see yourself stepping with ease, giving without fear, receiving without resistance. Hold that image. Let it imprint upon your soul. For as you hold it inwardly, life must hold it outwardly. Do not say, "When money comes, then I will feel worthy." Say instead, "Because I feel worthy, money comes." This is the reversal of truth that few dare to live. The Bible says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." The ancient mystics knew it. Self-image is destiny. and wealth is simply one of its reflections. But there is a trap here. Some imagine wealth only in fleeting moments, but then return to an identity of lack in their daily life. They look into the golden mirror once, but then turn away and live as if it were false. You must do more than glimpse it. You must wear it. You must breathe it. You must let the golden image replace the old. When you see yourself, even in silence, as already wealthy, you will move differently, and the mirror cannot resist. Here lies your sacred practice. Tonight, stand before a real mirror. Look into your own eyes. Speak softly but with certainty. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am worthy. Let the words pierce you until you feel their vibration in your chest. Then, when you close your eyes, return to the golden mirror of imagination. See yourself living the life already fulfilled, not as a distant dream, but as the most natural state of being. Persist in this ritual, and the outer mirror of money will bend to match your inner reflection. The third law of money manifestation is this: money reflects your self-image. Change the image, and the reflection must change. Chapter 4. The Law of Circulation. Giving opens the gate of receiving. There is a truth written in the breath of the universe. Nothing stagnant survives. The sea that receives but does not give becomes salt and barren. The tree that drinks but refuses to bear fruit withers in silence. And so it is with money. When hoarded in fear, it slips away. When circulated in joy, it multiplies. Money is movement. It is current. That is why we call it currency. Like blood in the body, it must flow, in and out, back and forth, a rhythm of life. If you stop its movement with clenched fists, it decays. If you release it with faith, it returns stronger, richer, multiplied. Most have been taught the opposite. They clutch every coin, every bill, every number in their account with trembling hands, afraid that if they let it go, it may never come back. But this fear dams the river. It interrupts the law of circulation, and what was meant to multiply dies in their possession. Let me tell you the story of Daniel. He was a man who feared poverty more than he loved life. Each paycheck he received, he hid away. He denied himself simple joys, denied others generosity, and when asked for help, he said, "I cannot. I must protect what little I have." And though he saved diligently, his wealth never grew. His accounts remained small, and opportunities seemed to pass him by. One evening, he met an old woman in the marketplace selling fruit. She had little more than a basket of apples, yet she radiated peace. Daniel asked her, "How do you smile when you have so little?" She answered, "Because I have all that I need, and what I give returns to me in ways unseen." She handed him an apple and said, "Take this as a gift." He refused, saying he could not accept charity. But she laughed. "Child, to refuse a gift is to stop the current. To give and to receive are one and the same river." Something pierced Daniel in that moment. He realized he had closed both hands, unwilling to give and unable to receive. That night, for the first time, he gave freely. It was a small amount, but he gave without fear, and within days, unexpected money flowed into his life. A friend repaid an old debt. A new opportunity arose at work. Daniel had discovered the hidden law. Circulation multiplies. Pause now and reflect. How do you treat money when it leaves your hands? Do you shrink, thinking it is lost? Or do you bless it, knowing it returns tenfold? For money is never lost. It is only circulating, carrying your energy into the world and preparing its return. When you give with resentment, you plant seeds of lack. But when you give with joy, you plant seeds of increase. When you pay bills, do not curse them, bless them. For each bill paid is proof of circulation, proof that you are connected to the current of life. Whisper silently, "Thank you, and more shall come." The universe rewards circulation because circulation is trust. To give is to declare, "I live in abundance, not fear." And the universe rushes to prove you right. Do not mistake this teaching for reckless spending. Giving does not mean waste. It means releasing with faith, sharing with joy, investing with certainty. You are not called to empty yourself, but to open yourself. The tighter you clutch, the less you hold. The more you open, the more you overflow. Consider the heart. It does not hoard blood in its chambers. It pumps and releases, pumps and releases. And in this rhythm, life is sustained. Your relationship with money must be the same. Give when guided, release with gratitude, and watch the rhythm return in greater measure. Here is your sacred practice. Each week, choose a moment to give. It may be large or small, a gift to a friend, an offering to a stranger, a donation, or even the joy of paying a bill with a smile instead of a sigh. As you give, whisper these words: "This is not leaving me. This is circulating back to me, multiplied." Then, close your eyes and see money as golden light flowing in currents around the world, touching lives, blessing others, and returning to you brighter, fuller, unstoppable. The fourth law of money manifestation is this: giving opens the gate of receiving. What you release in trust will always return with increase. Chapter 5. The Secret Language of Money. Vibration speaks louder than words. Every force in the universe speaks a language, and money is no exception. It does not answer to begging, nor does it bow to fear. It responds only to vibration, to the frequency you carry in the secret chambers of your being. Have you noticed? Some speak endlessly of lack, yet they never seem to escape it. Others speak little of wealth, but their very presence radiates prosperity, and money follows them like a loyal companion. Why is this so? Because money does not hear your words, it feels your vibration. If you say, "I want money," but vibrate lack, the frequency is contradiction, and money turns away. If you say, "I am broke," and vibrate despair, the mirror magnifies it. But if without words, you breathe wealth as naturally as you breathe air, money arrives silently, inevitably, like the rising of dawn. The ancients knew this. The Vedas taught that sound and frequency are creation itself. Hermetic law proclaimed, "Vibration is the key. Nothing rests, everything moves." Even the scriptures echo, "In the beginning was the Word," not mere sound, but vibration. And so it is with money. Let us paint a story upon this truth. There was a woman named Celine. She worked as a musician, yet though her art was beautiful, she lived in constant struggle. Each day she whispered to herself, "I am poor, I am unseen, I cannot live from my gift." Her words were heavy, but heavier still was her vibration. A song of lack played endlessly within her chest. One evening, she met an old master who said, "Play me the song you carry when no one listens." Celine, confused, placed her hands upon her instrument, but no sound emerged. The master smiled. "Not with your hands, with your heart." She closed her eyes, and he felt it instantly, the vibration of scarcity, the melody of fear. He said, "This is the music you send to the universe, and life must dance to it. Change your song, and life will change its dance." Celine wept, but she understood. That night, she began a new practice. Each morning, Before she touched her instrument, she closed her eyes and hummed a single note that felt like abundance. She imagined her body as a harp, each thought a string, and she tuned herself to gratitude, joy, wealth. Slowly, her vibration changed. Her music carried a new energy, and audiences began to feel it. They paid her more, invited her to greater halls, and her struggle gave way to overflow. Not because she worked harder, but because she changed her vibration. So it is with you. Your vibration is the song money hears. You cannot fool it with hollow affirmations, nor trick it with forced smiles. You must live in the vibration of abundance until it becomes your nature, and then money cannot resist. Close your eyes. Imagine your body glowing with light. With each breath, that light expands, golden and radiant, filling the room, filling your world. This light is wealth itself, flowing in and out of you, responding to your calm certainty. Whisper softly, "I am the frequency of wealth. I am the vibration of abundance. I am the song money loves to hear." Feel how the words shift your energy, not as an intellectual concept, but as a current humming in your chest, rising in your breath, steady in your pulse. That hum is your true language. That hum is what money answers. Have you ever seen how animals sense fear before a word is spoken? So it is with money. It senses your vibration before you write a check, before you apply for work, before you enter a room. If you vibrate lack, doors close. If you vibrate abundance, doors swing wide open. This is why some win opportunities others never see. They are not merely skilled, they are vibrating at the frequency of wealth. This is why the same effort, when performed in lack, fails, but when performed in abundance, succeeds. It is never the action alone, it is the vibration behind it. You must, therefore, become deliberate in tuning yourself. Just as a musician tunes their instrument daily, you must tune your vibration. Gratitude is a tuning fork. Joy is a chord. Faith is a drumbeat. And when you combine them, your vibration becomes irresistible. But beware, vibration is not about forcing happiness when you feel despair. It is about gently choosing alignment until it becomes natural. The sun does not strain to rise, it simply follows its course. So too must your vibration be cultivated with patience, persistence, and love. Here is your sacred practice. Each morning before you rise, place your hand upon your chest. Breathe deeply. As you inhale, whisper in your mind, "I receive." As you exhale, whisper, "I give." Do this rhythmically, letting each breath carry the frequency of circulation until your body hums with it. Then, imagine yourself as a great bell of gold. With each breath, see your body ringing with light, vibrating wealth into the atmosphere. Hold this image for a few minutes until you feel yourself alive with energy. Throughout your day, whenever you touch money, a coin, a card, a bill, pause for 1 second and silently affirm, "I vibrate abundance." This small ritual will tune you again and again until wealth responds without delay. Remember, wealth does not come because you chase it, it comes because you vibrate it. The fifth law of money manifestation is this: money speaks only the language of vibration. Align your frequency, and you will discover that the universe cannot withhold what already hums within you. Chapter 6. The Seed of Faith. Certainty commands wealth. There comes a moment when you must stop asking, stop hoping, stop wishing, and instead begin knowing. For money does not answer to half-hearted requests, nor to prayers laced with doubt. It bends to faith, not the fragile faith that trembles in the dark, but the radiant certainty that speaks as though the light has already dawned. Faith is the throne upon which wealth takes its seat. Without faith, even the strongest affirmations are empty shells. With faith, even the smallest whisper shakes the universe. Listen to this truth. Money is not persuaded by your labor alone, it is persuaded by your certainty. When you declare, not as hope but as fact, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am chosen, the whole universe reorganizes itself to make it so. Let me tell you a story. There was a merchant named Rahim who lived in a city by the sea. He sold spices, fabrics, small treasures carried from far lands. But for years his trade struggled. Ships passed him by, customers overlooked him, his earnings barely sustained him. He prayed often, begging for more. Yet his prayers were soaked with fear. One evening, he visited a sage who lived upon the cliffs. Rahim cried out, "Why does the universe ignore me? I ask, but nothing comes." The sage replied, "You ask as though wealth were deaf. Wealth is not deaf, it is obedient. It waits not for your words, but for your certainty. When you know beyond question that wealth is yours, it must appear. Not because it chooses to, but because the law requires it." The sage gave Rahim a task. "Tonight, lie down upon your bed and close your eyes. Imagine your shop already overflowing with customers. Smell the spices filling the air. Hear the laughter of those who buy from you. Count the coins in your hand until they feel heavy. But do not imagine as though it were far. Imagine as though it is now, already, here." Rahim obeyed. Each night, he entered that scene until it felt real. At first, his mind argued. It whispered, "This is fantasy." But he persisted, and soon his heart began to believe. Weeks later, ships that had never stopped before began docking near his stall. Travelers sought his wares. His shop became known throughout the city. Rahim had not changed his trade. He had changed his certainty. The universe does not answer questions, it answers declarations. You must, therefore, cease begging life to bless you and begin assuming the blessing. You must stand upon the throne of faith and declare yourself wealthy. For as you think in your heart, so it is done unto you. But here is the secret most miss. Faith is not struggle. It is not a clenched jaw or a forced belief. Faith is rest. Faith is ease. Faith is the calm knowing that the seed already planted will bear fruit. No farmer digs up the soil each morning to see if the seed has sprouted. He rests, he waters, he trusts. And in due time, the harvest comes. So too must you rest in the certainty of your wealth. Stop searching for evidence in the outer world. The evidence is within you, and when it is complete within, the mirror must reflect it without. Close your eyes now. Feel the chair beneath you, the ground holding you steady. Breathe deeply, slowly, until your body softens. Now, imagine a life where money is no longer a concern, where your bills are paid with ease, where your accounts overflow, where you give and receive freely. Do not picture it as though it were a dream. Picture it as though it is already true. Smile gently, as one who knows. This is faith. Faith is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is quiet, steady, unshakable. It does not ask, "Will this happen?" It says, "It has happened. I am living it now." And here lies your sacred practice. Each night, before you drift into sleep, whisper softly, "It is done." Not, "It will be," not, "I hope so," but, "It is done." Let those 3 words sink into your soul until they echo through your dreams. For sleep is the gate to creation, and what you carry into it will bloom in the waking world. Throughout your day, whenever doubt whispers, return to this declaration: "It is done. Say it when you see a bill. Say it when you desire something more. Say it when the old fear rises. Speak it with quiet authority and feel the calm certainty return. Faith is the throne, and upon this throne money takes its seat. The sixth law of money manifestation is this: certainty commands wealth. Speak not as a beggar, but as a king. Declare not as a wish, but as a fact. For what you assume with certainty, the universe must obey. Chapter 7. The Gate of Gratitude. Multiplication through thanks. There's a key hidden in plain sight, simple yet powerful, overlooked by those who chase wealth and never catch it. This key is gratitude. Not the shallow politeness of saying thank you as a formality, but the deep soul-felt state of being where you recognize every coin, every breath, every sunrise as proof that you are already rich. Gratitude is not merely reaction, it is creation. To be grateful is to declare, I already have. And the universe, hearing this declaration, multiplies your having. For to the one who has, more will be given. Think of it this way: the child who treasures the small gift is trusted with greater gifts. The one who despises the small gift closes the door to increase. So too with money. If you curse the little you have, you dam the river. If you bless it, you invite the flood. I will tell you a story. There was a woman named Leora who struggled for years to make ends meet. Each time she received her wages, she sighed in frustration. This is not enough. Why must life be so hard? Bills felt like chains, coins felt like mockery, and money always seemed to slip through her fingers. One evening, weary from despair, she heard a teaching whispered in a gathering. Whatever you bless multiplies. Whatever you curse diminishes. These words pierced her heart. That night, instead of lamenting her small wages, she held her paycheck in her hands and whispered, "Thank you. You are proof of abundance, and more is on the way." It felt strange at first, almost foolish, but she persisted. She blessed every bill she paid. She thanked every coin she held. She spoke gratitude even over debts, saying, "Thank you for the reminder that circulation flows. I trust that more will come." Something miraculous began to happen. Slowly, opportunities appeared. Her employer offered unexpected bonuses. Friends and family surprised her with gifts. Within a year, her income had doubled. Gratitude had not merely changed her mood, it had changed her frequency, and the universe responded. Do you see the secret? Gratitude is wealth's language. It tells the universe, I am already full, I am already rich. And the universe, faithful to its law, mirrors that fullness back to you. Now pause. Look around you. Even where you sit now, is there not proof of abundance already? The chair that holds you, the device upon which you listen, the breath filling your lungs, the heartbeat sustaining you. These are riches overlooked by those who think money is the only form of wealth. But when you honor them, you align with the truth. Abundance is already here, and money must join the chorus. Many believe they must wait for great wealth to feel grateful. But the wise reverse it. They feel grateful first, and wealth appears. Gratitude is the soil in which money grows. Without it, seeds lie dormant. With it, they flourish into forests. Close your eyes now. Picture yourself holding a small coin in your hand. Feel its weight, its texture, its quiet presence. Now, whisper within, "Thank you. You are proof of circulation, proof of flow, proof that money loves me." Smile gently. Let that smile radiate through your body, through your aura. In this moment, you are aligning with increase, for gratitude magnifies whatever it touches. This is why those who curse money never seem to have enough. Their words are spells, and their resentment multiplies lack. But those who bless money, even when it is small, find that it grows. Gratitude is alchemy. It turns little into much, emptiness into fullness, lack into overflow. Do not despise the beginning. Do not curse the seed. Bless it and watch it multiply. Here is your sacred practice. Each night before sleep, write down 5 things related to money or abundance for which you are grateful. They may be large, a payment received, a gift, an opportunity. Or they may be small, a meal enjoyed, a coin found, a bill paid. As you write them, feel the gratitude not as a passing thought but as a living flame in your chest. Whisper aloud, "Thank you. More is on the way." Then, in the morning, before you rise, place your hand upon your heart and simply say, "I begin this day in wealth, for I already have more than enough." Let this state carry you into the day, and watch how new currents of prosperity begin to open. The 7th law of money manifestation is this: gratitude multiplies wealth. Whatever you bless increases. Whatever you curse diminishes. Align yourself with thanks, and the universe will make sure you are never empty-handed. Chapter 8. The Law of Identity. You do not attract money, you become it. There is a subtle but profound truth most seekers miss. You do not attract what you chase, you attract what you are. The universe does not respond to your begging hands, it responds to your embodied identity. If you believe yourself poor, even if wealth is placed in your palms, it will vanish. If you believe yourself wealthy, even if circumstances appear lean, money will find its way to you again and again. For your identity is the blueprint reality must follow. Identity is the hidden magnet of wealth. The world does not pay you for what you do alone. It mirrors who you are being. Think of it. A king does not rise each morning wondering if his crown will be given to him. He knows it is his. His identity makes the crown inevitable. A master musician does not wonder if music will flow through her. She knows she is music itself. And so with you. Money does not come because you chase it, but because you embody the one who already owns it. Let me tell you a story. There was a tailor named Amari who stitched garments in a small village. Though his work was skillful, he earned little. Each day he muttered, "I am but a poor tailor. I will never know wealth." His words were seeds, his identity a prison, and life obeyed his script. One day, a traveler from the city entered his shop. She admired his craft and said, "Your hands create treasures, yet you see yourself as poor." "Why?" Amari sighed. "Because I was born in poverty, and poverty is my name." The traveler replied, "Change your name, and the world will change its song." That night, Amari stood before his mirror. For the first time he whispered, "I am wealthy. I am more than a poor tailor. I am a creator of beauty, a master of my art, and wealth flows to me." At first the words trembled, but he persisted. Day after day he wore this new identity in silence until it became his truth. Soon, nobles began ordering from him. His garments were carried to the city. Wealth followed him, not because his hands had changed, but because his identity had. He had shifted from poor tailor to wealthy creator, and the world had no choice but to reflect it. Do you see? The outer always bends to the inner identity. You must ask yourself now, who are you in relation to money? Not who you wish to be, but who you believe you are. For your belief writes the script of your life. If you see yourself as a struggler, money will elude you. If you see yourself as unlucky, money will mock you. If you see yourself as undeserving, money will bypass you. But if you see yourself as chosen, as magnetic, as abundant by nature, then money flows toward you like rivers to the sea. This is the law of identity. You do not attract money. You become the one who already has it. Pause now. Close your eyes. Imagine a version of yourself who is already wealthy. See how they stand, how they breathe, how they move through the world. Notice the calm in their face, the ease in their decisions, the generosity in their hands. This self is not distant. It is you, waiting to be claimed. Step into this identity. Wear it now. For when you wear it inwardly, the outer world must adjust. Do not say, "When money comes, then I will feel wealthy." That is the illusion. Say instead, "Because I feel wealthy, money comes." This reversal is the secret key. The scriptures declare, "Let the weak say, I am strong." Not because they are lying, but because they are assuming the identity of strength, and the outer must obey. So too must you say, "I am wealthy," not as fantasy, but as identity. But beware, the old self will resist. It will whisper, "This is false. Look at your bank account. Look at your bills." That is only the echo of the past. You are not called to argue with the echo. You are called to embody the new self until the echo fades. Here lies your sacred practice. Each morning, stand before a mirror. Look into your own eyes. Do not flinch. Speak aloud, "I am wealth. I am abundance. Money is my servant, not my master." Say it with the authority of one who knows. At first it may feel fragile, but persist. The mirror of life cannot resist a new identity held with certainty. Throughout your day, walk as this new self. Make decisions not from lack, but from abundance. Speak not as one waiting, but as one already blessed. This is not pretense, it is creation. For you are not pretending to be wealthy. You are remembering your true nature. The eighth law of money manifestation is this: you do not attract money, you become it. Identity is the magnet. Change who you are being, and the world must deliver what belongs to that self. Chapter 9. The Invisible Thread. Desire as Divine Guidance. Every desire that rises within you is not random. It is not a cruel joke. It is not an illusion meant to torment you. Desire is a signal, a compass, an invisible thread pulling you toward the life already prepared for you. Money itself is never the root desire. What you seek is freedom, expression, beauty, generosity, safety, expansion, and money as energy is one of the ways those deeper desires take form. When you feel the stirring to live richly, it is not greed, it is guidance. The universe whispers through desire, saying, "Come, step into more, this is yours." But here is the tragedy. Most have been taught to fear desire. They say, wanting is selfish, desire is dangerous, better to expect little so you will not be disappointed. And so they bury the golden thread, living in smallness while their heart aches for more. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man named Jonah who worked in a quiet field, plowing soil, tending sheep, living in simplicity. Yet within him burned a desire. He dreamed of building a school, a place where children could learn wisdom and craft beyond what his small village offered. But every time the desire rose, he crushed it. "Who am I to dream so big? I am poor. I am unworthy. I must not want what I cannot have." Years passed. The fire dimmed, but never fully died. One night, under a sky woven with stars, Jonah heard a voice within him. The desire itself is proof of its possibility. You would not dream it, if it were not already written in your destiny. He wept, he rose. For the first time, he allowed himself to follow the golden thread of desire. He began small, teaching children under a tree, speaking to neighbors of his vision, setting aside a single coin at a time. The desire gave him courage, and courage drew resources. Within years, a school stood in his village, funded not only by his labor but by the unexpected generosity of travelers who had heard of his dream. Jonah learned the law. Desire is divine instruction. So it is with you. Every time your heart whispers for wealth, not to hoard, but to expand, to create, to give, to live, that whisper is a signal. It is the map showing you what is already yours. Money manifestation begins not with denial of desire, but with honor of it. For the law is simple. If you can truly desire it, it already exists in the field of possibility. Your task is not to manufacture it, but to align with it. Pause now. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what is it you truly desire with money? Not just numbers, not just bills, but the feeling behind it. Is it the ease of waking without fear of debt? The joy of giving freely to those you love? The beauty of living in a home that reflects your spirit? The freedom of traveling where your soul longs to wander? Whatever rises, honor it. Do not push it down. Do not say, I cannot. Say instead, if I can desire it, I can become it. For desire is not emptiness, it is fullness calling you forward. Here lies a danger, confusing desire with desperation. Desire is calm fire, a steady pull. Desperation is restless, grasping, filled with fear. Desire says, I am guided toward this. Desperation says, I will die without this. You must learn the difference. One is divine compass, the other is illusion. Align with desire, not desperation. The ancient mystics understood this law. They taught that desire is the seed of creation, placed within by the divine. Just as an acorn contains within it the blueprint of the oak, so does your desire contain within it the path to fulfillment. You would not dream of wealth if wealth were not already in your design. And so, the practice becomes simple. Honor your desires. Speak them, write them, imagine them. Not as distant fantasies, but as truths already unfolding. When you say, I desire freedom, know that the freedom is already woven into your being. When you say, I desire abundance, know that the abundance is already coded in your soul. Here is your sacred practice. Tonight, before sleep, take a sheet of paper and write at the top, My divine desires. Then, let your hand flow. Do not censor, do not shrink. Write every financial desire, every vision, every dream. Write not as though you are begging life for permission, but as though you are recording what is already true. Then, beneath each desire, write these words, Because I desire it, it is mine. Read this list each morning, not with frantic craving, but with calm knowing. Let desire become your compass, not your torment. And watch as the invisible thread begins to pull you toward opportunities, connections, and miracles that align with your list. The ninth law of money manifestation is this: desire is not weakness, it is guidance. Honor it, and it will lead you into the wealth already waiting. Chapter 10: The Field of Imagination. Where money first takes form, there is a secret chamber in your mind, a field vast as the stars, alive with unseen forces, humming with possibility. It is here, in the boundless territory of imagination, that money is first created. Before it clinks into your palm, before it flashes across your account, Before it appears in the marketplace, it exists as a pattern, a picture, a seed in this inner field. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the womb of reality. Every coin, every fortune, every empire began as an invisible form in someone's imagination. The building you stand within, the chair beneath you, the very clothes you wear, all once existed as nothing more than an image in the unseen. So too with your wealth. The outer world is only the shadow. The inner world is the source. But here lies the tragedy. Most use imagination against themselves. They replay scenes of lack, of debt, of fear, of disappointment. They see bills piling high, opportunities slipping away, lives shrinking. And because imagination is law, the outer world echoes their inner film. They suffer not because the universe is cruel, but because they have forgotten how to dream. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Elias, born into a poor family in a crowded city. Every day he saw only scarcity, cramped houses, weary faces, pockets empty. His imagination, shaped by what he saw, replayed only lack. He dreamed of nothing greater because he thought greatness was for others. But one evening, wandering through the marketplace, he heard a storyteller speaking of distant lands, of golden palaces, of merchants whose ships carried treasures, of gardens filled with fountains and music. For the first time, Elias's imagination ignited. That night, he lay upon his bed and pictured himself walking through those palaces, hearing the fountains, holding treasures in his hands. At first, it felt impossible, almost foolish. But he persisted, visiting that inner world each night. Slowly, his life shifted, his posture changed, his speech grew confident. He began seeking opportunities beyond his neighborhood. He apprenticed with a merchant, learned the art of trade, and within years, he was traveling across seas himself. Wealth followed him, not because he was born rich, but because he imagined richly. Do you see? The imagination is not idle play. It is the forge where destiny is shaped. And so I ask you, what film are you playing? Are you imagining bills, or are you imagining abundance? Are you picturing doors closing, or doors opening? Are you rehearsing poverty, or rehearsing prosperity? For every scene rehearsed in imagination is a seed. Plant scarcity, reap scarcity. Plant wealth, reap wealth. The law cannot be broken. Pause. Close your eyes. Step into the field. Imagine a scene so real you can feel it in your skin. Perhaps you are holding a letter of approval for a new business, or opening an account filled with more money than you once believed possible, or giving a gift to someone you love with ease and joy. Hear the sounds, smell the air, feel the texture. Stay in it until it feels natural. This is not daydreaming. This is planting. The ancients knew this truth. Neville Goddard, the mystic teacher, declared, "Imagination creates reality." The scriptures whisper, "Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Science now confirms what mystics proclaimed. The brain does not distinguish vividly imagined experience from outer fact. What you feel in imagination becomes coded as truth, and life must rearrange itself to reflect it. But here lies the key. Imagination must be clothed with feeling. A picture without emotion is powerless. It is when you feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude, the excitement, as if the money were already yours, that the seed takes root. Imagination without feeling is a sketch. Imagination with feeling is creation. And so your task is simple yet profound. Dwell in the feeling of wealth before it arrives. Live in the scene before it manifests. Do not wait for proof. Create the proof inwardly. The outer world is slow to catch up, but it must catch up. For what is impressed upon imagination is expressed in reality. Here lies your sacred practice. Each night, before you fall asleep, enter a single scene that implies your wealth is already real. Perhaps it is the feeling of handing a check to someone with ease, or hearing a friend congratulate you on your success, or looking at your reflection and smiling with peace. Keep the scene simple. Keep it vivid. Keep it repeated. Do not change it nightly. Persist until it feels natural, until you drift into sleep wearing it as truth. For sleep is the gateway, and imagination in sleep sinks deep into the subconscious, which governs the outer world. As you fall asleep clothed in wealth, you awaken in a world that must bend to match it. Remember, you are not begging the universe. You are scripting the play. You are not hoping for luck. You are writing the law. The 10th law of money manifestation is this: imagination is the field where money first takes form. Sow richly within, and you will reap richly without. Chapter 11. The Bridge of Action. Walking the path, prepared by the invisible. Money, though born in the unseen, does not remain there. It seeks a bridge, a passage through which it can flow from imagination into form. That bridge is action, but not the frantic, desperate action of one who fears, nor the endless striving of one who doubts. The bridge of action is calm, aligned, certain. When imagination is planted and faith has taken root, the universe begins to stir. Circumstances shift, opportunities appear. But here is the mystery. The opportunities will often look ordinary. The doors will not announce themselves with trumpets. They will appear as subtle nudges, inner whispers, chance encounters. Your task is not to force, but to notice, and to walk across the bridge when it appears. Think of it this way. The farmer who plants seeds does not sit idly indoors. He waters, he tends, he clears weeds. He works not in desperation, but in alignment with the harvest he knows will come. His actions are not proof-seeking, but faith-keeping. So too with you. Money will not fall from the sky, but it will flow through channels: your work, your creativity, your conversations, your investments, your gifts. To refuse action is to block the bridge. To force action is to break it. But to walk in calm alignment is to let wealth cross easily into your hands. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Hannah who dreamed of owning a bakery. For years, she imagined it: the smell of fresh bread, the laughter of customers, the golden glow of the ovens. She rehearsed it nightly, and faith filled her heart. But she believed the bakery would one day appear without her movement. So she waited, year after year, growing restless, yet taking no step. One morning, while buying flour at the market, she overheard two men speaking of a small shop for rent. Her heart leapt, but her mind said, "Not yet. I have no money. I have no means." She almost walked away, yet a whisper rose within. This is the bridge. She chose to inquire, just to ask. To her shock, the rent was far less than she feared. A friend offered to loan her what she lacked. Within weeks, her bakery opened, and abundance began to flow. The bakery had been waiting all along, but she had to cross the bridge. So it is with you. The inner work plants the seed, but action waters it. The universe moves, but you must walk. Do not confuse aligned action with struggle. Struggle is born of fear, of trying to make things happen. Aligned action is movement born of certainty. It is light, often small, but powerful. It is the phone call made with faith, the email sent with joy, the opportunity pursued with ease. These actions are bridges. They are signals to the universe. I am ready to receive. Pause and reflect. How often have you ignored the whisper? the idea that came in the shower, the invitation that seemed too small, the chance that felt inconvenient. These are not accidents. They are bridges. The universe rarely shouts, it nudges. Your wealth is often hidden in ordinary steps. The extraordinary grows from the ordinary acted upon with faith. Now listen carefully. You do not need to know the entire path. You need only to take the next step. The bridge reveals itself one plank at a time. Doubt says, "But what about tomorrow?" Faith says, "I walk today, and tomorrow will reveal itself." Here lies your sacred practice. Each morning, after aligning in imagination and gratitude, ask inwardly, what is one step I can take today to open the bridge of wealth? Do not demand lightning answers. Listen gently. Perhaps it will be to call someone, to create something, to apply, to share, to give. Then, act. Do not delay, even if it seems small. Act. For action is the movement that allows the river of money to flow. Each night, reflect and bless the steps you took. Whisper, "I have walked the bridge. More is on its way." Over time, you will see how these small aligned actions weave into miracles far greater than you imagined. Remember, you are not forcing the river. You are building the channels through which it flows. The 11th law of money manifestation is this: action is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Walk it daily, calmly, and wealth will find its way into form. Chapter 12. The Atmosphere of Wealth, Dwelling in Prosperity Before It Appears. Wealth is not only a possession, it is an atmosphere, an unseen fragrance, an energy field that surrounds you before it touches your hands. Those who walk in wealth live in this atmosphere long before the numbers change, long before the treasures arrive. They breathe differently. They move differently. They carry themselves as though money has already bent to their will. And so the law is simple, though rarely understood. You must dwell in wealth before wealth appears. For the outer world is always the shadow, the inner world is always the cause. Most live in the atmosphere of lack. They may speak affirmations, they may beg for more, but their aura vibrates with fear, with resentment, with smallness. They live in the climate of poverty, and the harvest follows the climate. Yet others, even with little, breathe gratitude, walk in dignity, radiate calm assurance, and wealth flows to them as surely as rivers to the ocean. Do you see the difference? One waits for evidence to feel wealthy, the other feels wealthy, and evidence arrives. Let me paint you a story. There was a young artist named Naima. Her home was small, her table bare, her clothes simple, yet she refused to live in the vibration of poverty. Each morning, she lit a single candle and whispered, "I dwell in abundance." She ate her bread as though it were a feast, sipped water as though it were wine, sat upon her worn chair as though it were a throne. To the eyes of the world she was poor, but inwardly she was already surrounded by gold. Soon, her art began to carry this energy. Those who saw her work felt something beyond the paint. They felt the atmosphere of wealth that radiated from her soul. Patrons came. Opportunities multiplied. Naima did not chase wealth. She lived in wealth before it appeared, and the outer world was forced to obey. This is your invitation, to change the atmosphere you carry. Ask yourself now, what atmosphere surrounds you when you speak of money? Is it heaviness, complaint, fear? Or is it peace, gratitude, joy? Money is sensitive to atmosphere. It is drawn to warmth, to openness, to joy. It resists bitterness and fear. Just as a flower turns toward the sun, so does money turn toward the radiant soul who dwells in abundance. How then do you cultivate this atmosphere? First, through gratitude. As we have spoken, gratitude multiplies. But more than multiplying, it changes your state. When you say, "Thank you," with sincerity, your energy shifts. The air around you vibrates differently. You become magnetic. Second, through imagination. When you rehearse scenes of wealth inwardly, you begin to breathe that wealth outwardly. Your tone changes, your body relaxes, your aura glows. Others sense it, though they cannot explain why. Third, through environment. The space you live in carries energy. If your home is cluttered, neglected, dripping with lack, it reflects and reinforces that atmosphere. But if you treat even the smallest space as sacred, clean, ordered, touched with beauty, you tell the universe, "I am already wealthy. I honor what I have." And the universe answers with more. Pause now. Look at your surroundings. Ask yourself, does this environment reflect lack or wealth? If it reflects lack, do not curse it. Transform it. Add one touch of beauty, one act of order, one sign of abundance. Each small act changes the atmosphere, and the atmosphere changes your life. Fourth, through language. Words are spells. If you speak lack, you breathe lack into the atmosphere. If you speak wealth, you breathe wealth into it. Do not say, "I am broke." Do not joke about poverty. Do not curse your money. Speak as though wealth is already yours. Whisper daily, "I live in overflow. I dwell in abundance. Prosperity is the air I breathe." This is not pretending. This is cultivating atmosphere. Here is your sacred practice. Each morning, before engaging the world, close your eyes and imagine a golden aura surrounding you. See it glowing, radiant, expanding several feet beyond your body. Whisper, "This is the atmosphere of wealth. I walk in it. I live in it. I breathe it." Then, throughout the day, when fear or doubt creeps in, pause, breathe, and re-enter that aura. Remind yourself, "I am not waiting for wealth. I am already dwelling in it." Then, as you go about your day, act as though you are already wealthy, not recklessly, not foolishly, but with dignity. Hold your head high. Treat others with generosity. Choose peace over panic. In this way, you train your atmosphere to remain steady. The truth is this: wealth is not something you acquire. It is something you embody. And when you embody it, the outer world arranges itself to reflect what you already carry. The 12th law of money manifestation is this: dwell in the atmosphere of wealth before the evidence appears, and the evidence must appear, for the inner climate creates the outer harvest. Chapter 13. The Law of Alignment. When thoughts, feelings, and actions sing as one. There is a harmony the universe cannot resist. It is not the harmony of instruments, nor of voices, but of your own being. When your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions align, reality bends. This is the law of alignment, and it governs money as surely as the sun governs day and night. For most, life is discord. They think of wealth but feel unworthy. They dream of money but act in fear. Their inner choir sings 3 different songs, and the universe echoes only the confusion. But when the mind imagines wealth, the heart feels wealth, and the hands act as if wealth were certain, the whole cosmos joins in chorus. Opportunities arise, doors swing open, and money flows like music. Pause and reflect. Are your thoughts, feelings, and actions aligned, or are they at war? Let me tell you a story. There was a merchant named Solomon who longed for prosperity. Each morning he spoke affirmations. "I am wealthy. I am abundant." But inwardly he carried shame. He felt unworthy of wealth, believing his lineage condemned him to poverty. And though he spoke the words, his actions betrayed his fear. He undercharged, hesitated to ask for payment, shrank from opportunities. His thoughts spoke wealth, his feelings spoke lack, his actions spoke fear, and the result was confusion. One evening he sat by the sea, despair heavy upon him. An elder approached and said, "Child, do you not see? Your mind speaks one thing, your heart another, your hands another still. Align them, and the sea itself will carry wealth to your shore." Solomon asked, "How?" The elder replied, "Begin with the heart, feel worthy. Without worthiness, your words are noise and your actions dust. When the heart is aligned, the mind will imagine richly, and the hands will move boldly. Begin within." Solomon obeyed. He spent his nights imagining himself as one who deserved prosperity. He rehearsed the feelings of gratitude, of dignity, of ease. Slowly, his heart softened, his feelings changed. His affirmations began to carry power. His actions grew confident. Soon his business flourished. Do you see? Alignment is the secret. Money does not obey mere thoughts. Thoughts alone are shadows, nor does it obey feelings that are not embodied, nor does it obey actions done in fear. But when thought, feeling, and action sing in unison, reality cannot resist. Imagine yourself as an instrument. The mind is the string, the heart is the vibration, the hand is the bow. Only when the three are in harmony does music emerge. So too with money. How do you practice alignment? First, notice your contradictions. If you say, "I am wealthy," but feel fear when you open your bills, you are divided. If you imagine abundance but act timidly when opportunities arise, you are divided. Do not condemn yourself. Simply notice. Awareness is the first step to alignment. Second, begin with feeling. Feeling is the root. As Neville Goddard taught, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If you can feel yourself wealthy, the mind will follow with images, and the body will follow with actions. Do not try to force action when your heart is heavy. Align the heart first. Third, rehearse alignment in imagination. Each night, picture yourself living as one whose thoughts, feelings, and actions are one. See yourself receiving money with gratitude, speaking confidently, giving joyfully, moving boldly. Let that scene sink until it feels natural. Fourth, act as though the alignment were already complete. Even small actions, done with faith, signal alignment to the universe. Pay a bill with gratitude. Treat yourself with dignity. Speak words of wealth with conviction. Each action is a thread weaving the alignment stronger. Let me guide you now in a practice. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Picture before you a golden triangle. At its top point, see your thoughts. On the left point, see your feelings. On the right point, see your actions. At first, they flicker with different lights. But as you breathe, the lights begin to merge, glowing with the same golden hue. Whisper silently, "My thoughts, my feelings, my actions are one." Feel the harmony sink into you. Imagine the sound of a chord ringing, steady, clear, perfect. This is alignment. When you carry this inner harmony, wealth cannot resist. It must obey, for you have become a living magnet. The ancient mystics all echoed this law. The Vedas spoke of yoga, union of mind, body, and spirit. The scriptures declared, "A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways." Hermetic law proclaimed, "As above, so below, as within, so without." All point to the same truth. When you are one within, the outer world becomes one with you. But when you are divided, the harvest is confusion. So do not live in division any longer. Do not speak one thing, feel another, and act a third. Choose wealth inwardly, feel it deeply, and act upon it boldly. This is the law of alignment. The 13th law of money manifestation is this: when your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions align, money must obey. For alignment is the music to which the universe dances. Chapter 14. The Power of Permission, Allowing Yourself to be Wealthy. The greatest chains are not forged by the world, they are forged by the mind, and among the heaviest of these chains is the belief that you are not allowed to be wealthy. Many desire abundance. They speak of prosperity, they pray for increase, they imagine riches, yet deep within they whisper, "It is not for me." Others may live richly, but I am not the one chosen. And so, though the river of wealth flows endlessly, they stand upon its banks with empty hands, waiting for a permission slip that never comes. Hear me clearly. You are the only one who can grant yourself permission. The universe does not withhold it. Life is not waiting for some authority to decree your worthiness. The moment you say, "I allow myself to be wealthy," the doors begin to open. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman named Clara who lived her life in service to others. She worked tirelessly, cared for her family, gave her strength and love freely. Yet money never stayed with her. When it came, she pushed it away. When others tried to pay her more, she refused. She said, "I cannot accept it. I do not deserve it. I am unworthy." One day, exhausted and broken, Clara visited a healer. The healer asked, "Why do you reject what seeks you?" Clara replied, "Because I was told wealth makes one selfish. Because I was told I must sacrifice." The healer took her hands and whispered, "Those were not laws. They were lies. You do not need to suffer to be worthy. You were born worthy." That night, Clara stood before her mirror. For the first time in her life, she whispered aloud, "I give myself permission to be wealthy." Tears streamed down her face, for the words felt like rebellion, like freedom, like truth. She repeated them each day, and slowly her life shifted. She began to accept more, to receive joyfully, to allow abundance. Within months, her work flourished, and she lived in prosperity, not because she begged the world, but because she permitted herself. Do you see? Wealth was never withheld. She withheld it from herself. So it is with you. The universe has never denied you. It reflects the permission you grant yourself. If you believe you must remain small, you will. If you believe wealth is unholy, it will flee from you. But if you believe wealth is your birthright, if you give yourself permission to receive, then nothing can keep it away. Pause, close your eyes, breathe deeply, whisper within, "I give myself permission to be wealthy. I am safe to receive. I am worthy of overflow." Feel how your body responds. Perhaps resistance rises. Perhaps old voices whisper, "No, this is selfish." Do not fight them. Simply repeat calmly until the resistance fades. For repetition carves new pathways, and new pathways create new lives. Consider this. A tree does not apologize for growing tall. A river does not shrink from flowing wide. A star does not hide its light to make others comfortable. Why then should you hide your wealth? Your abundance blesses others. Your overflow waters dry lands. Your prosperity lifts those around you. To remain small serves no one. Giving yourself permission to be wealthy does not mean greed. It means alignment. It means stepping into the fullness you were always meant to carry. Here is your sacred practice. Each morning as you rise, stand with your hand upon your heart and speak aloud, I am worthy. I give myself permission to live in wealth. Say it until your chest vibrates with truth. Then carry this permission through your day. When opportunities come, instead of shrinking, whisper, I allow this. When money touches your hand, instead of resisting, whisper, I receive this. Each whisper builds a new reality. At night, before sleep, imagine yourself surrounded by abundance, not begging for it, but resting in it as natural. As you drift into dreams, repeat the words, I allow myself to be wealthy. These words will sink into the soil of your subconscious and bloom in your waking life. Remember, the gates are not outside you. The gates are within, and the key is permission. The 14th law of money manifestation is this: wealth arrives when you allow it. Give yourself permission to receive, and the universe will flood your life with the riches you were always meant to carry. Chapter 15. The Infinite Source. Money is energy, not limitation. There is a lie that has chained humanity for centuries, the lie of scarcity. You have been told there is not enough money, not enough opportunity, not enough to go around. And so you have been taught to fight, to compete, to claw your way through life as though wealth were a limited resource, as though every gain for one must mean a loss for another. But scarcity is not law. Scarcity is illusion. The truth is this: money is not a pile of coins locked in a vault. It is energy, infinite, flowing, responding to consciousness. The universe does not run out of energy, and therefore it cannot run out of wealth. Look at the sun. Each day it pours its light without exhaustion. Look at the ocean. Its waves never cease. Look at the stars. They multiply beyond number. Do you think the source that sustains galaxies is troubled by your desire for more? Money is not a limited pile. It is a current, a vibration, a reflection of the infinite source from which all things flow. And yet, most live as beggars in a universe of abundance. They believe wealth is scarce, and so their lives mirror scarcity. They fight for scraps, envy their neighbors, curse those who prosper, never realizing they are drinking from an infinite well while dying of imagined thirst. Let me tell you a story. There was once a scholar named Idris who spent his life studying wealth. He analyzed markets, currencies, economies, but still he lived in lack. He believed wealth was always just beyond reach, controlled by others, rationed out in measures too small for him. One day, weary of struggle, he visited a mystic in the mountains. The mystic handed him a bowl and led him to a spring. "Drink," he said. Idris obeyed. The water was clear, endless, flowing freely. The mystic asked, "When you drink, do you fear that another will go thirsty?" Idris shook his head. "Of course not. The spring is endless." The mystic smiled. "So it is with wealth. You drink from an infinite source, yet you have lived as though the spring were dry. Stop rationing what is already infinite." Idris wept, for he understood. From that day he ceased fearing lack. He began to see money not as scarce, but as energy. He honored it, welcomed it, trusted it. And in that trust, doors opened. Wealth flowed, not as a trickle, but as a river. So it is with you. Scarcity is not your law. Infinity Island. The question is not whether money exists, but whether you are aligned to its flow. Imagine standing by a river. If you turn your back, you see only desert and believe water does not exist. But the river flows, whether you look or not. So too does money flow. Your task is not to create it, but to face it, to open your vessel, to align with its infinite source. This alignment begins in consciousness. When you believe money is scarce, you tighten, you fear, you hoard, and scarcity multiplies. When you believe money is infinite, you relax, you trust, you circulate, and abundance multiplies. Pause now. Breathe deeply. Imagine above you a vast fountain of golden light pouring endlessly into your life. See it flowing into your home, your work, your accounts, your hands. Whisper silently, "I drink from an infinite source. I am never empty." Feel how your body shifts from tension to ease, from fear to calm. This shift is the opening through which the current flows. Here lies your sacred practice. Each time you handle money, no matter how small, whisper to yourself, "This is energy, and energy is infinite." Do not treat it as scarce. Treat it as alive, flowing, multiplying. Then, each night, visualize yourself standing under the fountain of golden light, arms open, receiving endlessly. Repeat until it feels natural. Understand this: when others prosper, it does not reduce your share. Their prosperity proves the current is alive. Celebrate it, bless it, for their wealth is evidence of the source you share. The universe is not pie, it is ocean. No one drains the ocean. The 15th law of money manifestation is this: money is not limitation, it is energy, infinite and alive. Align with the truth of infinity, and scarcity will dissolve from your life forever. Conclusion. The Great Return, becoming the source of wealth. You have walked with me through hidden chambers of truth. You have crossed rivers of imagination, stepped through golden mirrors, breathed the air of gratitude, stood upon the throne of certainty, and felt the atmosphere of wealth surround you. You have learned that money is not an enemy, not a master, not even the goal. It is energy. It is reflection. It is proof of your alignment with the infinite source. And now, as this journey closes, hear this. You are not chasing wealth. You are wealth. You are not searching for abundance. You are abundance in flesh, breathing, creating, radiating. The final revelation is simple but profound. The source you once sought outside has been within you all along. Every law we explored points back here. Imagination, vibration, gratitude, identity, alignment, permission, all are ways of remembering who you are. You are not the beggar at the gates of life. You are the creator. You are the fountain. You are the law made flesh. Pause. Let this truth breathe within you. Whisper it softly. I am the source. I am the current. I am the wealth. When you speak these words, the illusions fall. The fear of lack dissolves. The envy of others fades. The struggle loses its grip. For what can be withheld from the one who is the source? Look at the world differently now. Each coin that comes to you is not random. It is the echo of your inner song. Each opportunity is not chance. It is the mirror of your identity. Each desire is not torment. It is divine guidance. And each action is not toil. It is a bridge between the unseen and the seen. Wealth is not somewhere in the distance. It is here, it is now, it has always been. But listen carefully. This journey is not for you alone. When you embody wealth, you become a light for others. Your abundance waters dry fields. Your generosity lifts the fallen. Your prosperity breaks chains of lack not only in your life but in the lives of those you touch. Money is not selfish when it flows through you with love. It becomes sacred. It becomes blessing. Imagine this: a world where each person remembers the infinite source within. A world where scarcity is unmasked as illusion, where wealth circulates freely, where gratitude and generosity form the heartbeat of humanity. This vision begins with you. Each step you take into wealth is not selfish. It is service. For when you overflow, others drink. Let us return now, briefly, to each law you have carried. Imagination is currency. Wealth begins within. Receiving is worthiness. The river flows to the open vessel. Money mirrors identity. Who you believe you are, you live. Giving opens receiving. Circulation multiplies. Vibration speaks louder than words. Your frequency is your language. Faith commands wealth. Certainty bends reality. Gratitude multiplies. Bless what you have, and it grows. Identity magnetizes. You do not attract, you become. Desire is guidance. The dream is proof of possibility. Imagination plants. The scene rehearsed becomes the harvest. Action bridges. The invisible becomes visible through your steps. Atmosphere creates climate. Live in wealth, and wealth must arrive. Alignment harmonizes. Thought, feeling, and action as one. Permission opens gates. You are allowed to receive. Infinity is truth. Money is energy without limit. Do you see the symmetry? Each law is a facet of the same diamond. Each truth a doorway into the same temple. And at the center of that temple is you. Now, as this scripture closes, let me guide you in one final sacred practice. The seal of wealth. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Place your hand upon your heart. Whisper softly but with certainty. I am wealthy. I am abundant. I am chosen. Money flows to me, through me, as me. I give with joy. I receive with grace. I dwell in the atmosphere of wealth. I am the source, and I overflow. Feel those words vibrate in your chest like a bell struck with golden light. See yourself surrounded by radiant energy, infinite and unending. Imagine money flowing into your life, not as frantic chase, but as natural circulation. Feel gratitude rising like a river. Feel joy blooming like fire. And know, it is done. From this day forward, live as though wealth were your atmosphere, your identity, your truth. Act with certainty, walk with dignity, give with joy, receive with openness. And when doubt whispers, return to the seal, return to the remembrance. I am the source. The journey is complete, but the practice is eternal. Carry these words, these truths, these laws into your waking life. Let them shape your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, until the whole of your being radiates wealth. And when others ask, what changed in you? Why does life bend to your command? Smile gently and tell them, I remembered who I am. This is the conclusion of money manifestation. You are no longer the seeker. You are the creator. You are the law. You are the wealth. It is done. If this journey has stirred something deep within you, if these words have unlocked remembrance in your soul, I invite you to let your light ripple outward, like this video, so that the current flows further. Leave a comment sharing the awakening you felt, so others may walk beside you in this circle of wealth. And subscribe so you never walk alone in this sacred remembering. Together, we are building not just riches, but a world awakened to abundance. The river flows, the source is within, and you are wealthy, now and forever.